Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of Your Mom's Podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Caroline,
And I'm Avis.
and today we're talking about Degrassi, Season 2, Episodes 17 and 18, Relax and Dressed in Black. Roses are red, Liberty's gone insane, acting like a tyrant over a floor hockey game. When Liberty doesn't make the floor hockey team, she takes her position as team manager way too seriously. In a quest to get the team a much needed sponsorship, she channels her hero Napoleon and leads the team straight into mutiny. Over in grade 9, Terry's dumbass starts messing with fortune telling again and finds herself on the receiving end of some top tier bullying from Paige and Hazel.
This episode, I liked it, but it's also oh yeah, it's so.
It's
Degrassi
it's
loves a sports
very
episode to bring a random sports
it's,
team into the mix
yeah,
to
it's I
talk
mean,
about sportsmanship and.
it's a fine episode,
Yeah.
but like
I mean, go them for giving Liberty an actual storyline that doesn't involve JT
right.
or academics.
No, it just has her turning into a weird cape wearing fucking tyrant.
And I mean, duality.
But it's just I feel like it's what like everybody is a little bit, not everybody, but like I feel like Liberty is a bit a caricature of herself in it.
Yeah.
And I also feel like Hazel and Paige are like cartoonishly mean.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about the production order. Not the
Mhm.
production order, the airing order, because the production order seems like these episodes could have been shot maybe before Shout. Um I feel like they're just like they just
Like it was
feel
planned to be before Shout
like it was
cuz
planned to be before Shout in in the timeline, and then they're just kind of scrambling them around to pepper in, like how we were talking about, to not have a serious episode, to do like an
right.
either or. So they shoot a bunch of episodes, but they're not necessarily narrative, because like we did with our production order, we switched a couple episodes around in order to cover the 2-pack. um because we had low stakes episodes that kind of were fine with continuity, like you didn't need to know anything about it. Nothing happens
Right.
before
That really
it affects
affects
after. Yeah, they're
yeah.
very shuffleable episodes, and I know some kid shows do that.
Mhm.
Not only because like it's convenient, but also because nobody's necessarily paying attention.
Right.
So I
It's
kind of
very
wonder if
much
that's what it's going on here.
it's a throwaway episode.
Totally.
And I also noticed like just kind of speaking about like continuity and like production and weirdness and whatever.
Hmm.
Um and I went back and watched through and it actually made it even weirder. I One of my
Yeah.
first notes is is this episode in the Pretty Little Liars timeline? Because you know how like in Pretty Little Liars, like they're having coffee before school and then they're at school and then Emily's at swim practice and then
Yes.
they're in
Right.
English class and now it's
Like
Christmas.
exactly.
And the outfits,
Yes. I'm so thank you.
but then they change,
They
but then they go
changed it, then they
back.
go back.
So it
Yeah.
gave me I felt like I was in an episode of Pretty Little Liars.
Totally. No, actually I completely noticed that too, and it creeped me out because we do pay so much attention to the
Hmm.
fashion. So I'm like, I'm not
How long is this
tripping.
day? Because it
Right.
seems like
At the top of
Liberty
the
doesn't make
day.
the team. Maybe that's a different day. But
Yeah. I
then
thought that was a different day.
she's like proposing new uniforms, and then there's
Talking to Mr.
practice, and then there's
Jeremiah.
class, and then she goes to
Yeah.
Joey's, and then they're back at school, and like it was.
Like, dude, how did she what
But they did have different outfits in between because she's wearing
they
that yellow
did.
shirt
She
for a
wears
couple
her
of
yellow
scenes.
shirt, yes. And it's odd, like that's I call it Emma's hat outfit, her little
Oh my
pale
god.
blue hat and
Yep.
turnover hat, and I'm like, okay, that's a super distinct outfit. Why do they think that we wouldn't notice that she appears in it
I think I don't know.
multiple
I feel like
times?
they kind of phoned this one in. They were like,
I
we need
think
a
so.
couple more episodes.
I think they
We can't give these
did.
kids any more trauma this year.
You know what? Because not to jump into the
Rude.
I think is this like oh, this is a school bus. They go to like door to door and like they like pick the kid up, and I'm like, this is so luxurious. Be on your porch, like be on the be ready to
Right.
hop the fuck on the bus. But um so in the next episode, Kendra is wearing the same shirt. And I think it's supposed to be later that day or
Yeah, no, I
something.
noticed there was outfit repeating going
Yeah,
on.
like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So like you guys must get a certain number of outfits at the top of each season, which would line up with what friend of the pod Shane Kipple told us. You and I think is fairly standard for most television shows. You show up at the beginning of production for that season, you get a rack of clothes for whatever your character might go through that season, unless you're in a like a stylized TV drama, like a teen drama like Gossip Girl, where they might do fittings for every episode, which I know is
Right, because those girls are not
those girls
outfit
are not
repeaters.
outfit repeaters. That is not the point of that show. So I think here, because they're going for realism, they do want to highlight that, oh, this character would wear this multiple times because they love this outfit and they've got a washing machine.
Well, and that's great,
But not in the same like plausible 48 hours.
but no, I think you're right. I think they just kind of shoehorned this episode in somewhere because it fit.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. Because the next
Also, yeah,
couple episodes are pretty decent in terms of the plot. So I feel like this is
yeah.
like toward the end of the episode, end of the season. This is just one they're like, okay, we need a light episode. Um, Still a good one, but really like I
Well, I think that's kind of what these two and the next one are, because the next
yes.
one, you've got, not to get into next week too hard, but we've
Hmm.
got Fight for Your Right, which is the GMO foods one, which is an important issue that
It's an
was
important issue,
widely misunderstood.
definitely.
And then you've got How Soon Is Now, which is the one where Dean comes back.
Right.
And so I think these three, the two that we're covering today and the first one that we cover next week,
Hmm.
were just kind of filler episodes that they apparently decided to all pepper in together.
Yeah,
But we should
because
talk
yeah, we
about
should talk about
the
yeah.
plot of this episode and then we can stop talking about this episode because it's like it's up there with
It's
Parents' Day for me.
It's up there with Parents' Day for me
Or not
too. I'm
Parents'
not
Day, Family
family
Politics.
politics, right? Because Parents' Day was not horrible, but yeah, family politics was the hellscape that we went through. Um, but yeah, so in the A plot, Liberty wants to go out for well, does go out for the floor hockey team, but we know that she is not going to make it by Mrs. H. It's her face, and then we actually
Yeah.
are told that Liberty didn't make it, but Mrs. H wants her to be the student manager. So she's like, I know you'll do great for the team. This team needs you. And I think
Mhm.
Liberty just takes that too far. She
Yeah.
takes it
Well, and you can
way too
tell,
far.
like, Liberty's a bit broken. Like,
Hmm.
because there's that thing she's talking to Mr. Perino about how she's gonna, about her essay on Napoleon. He's like, I'm sure it's gonna be great. You kill it at everything you set your mind to. And she's like, not everything.
Oh, right.
Um, and then she's washing like the laundry. And to be fair, like, what the girls' floor hockey team is working with is like,
Those are not even
like when
penny
you're
material. They're not even like
right,
real
they're the ones
pennies.
that you
They're
get in gym class when they're like, okay, yellow team, blue team.
well, so
Like you would
mine
not.
I feel like I have to say that at least the broke ass school that I went to, they bought pennies one time and they're like, that's it. We're gonna buy high quality pennies and these are lasting for the next 30 years. And
Mm,
literally they were like little baby jerseys, that material that has the little holes in it and
yeah,
everything, and they're 2-ply. And they're like basically, welded together at the bottom and it's just like an open kind of shirt. At
yeah,
least that's a little bit more durable than glorified t-shirt material.
yeah.
That's it's
They're
cotton.
so bad. And
There's
Liberty's like, and
they're
Liberty's
thinning.
right. The team needs new uniforms,
Hmm.
and the girls' sports deserve sponsorship and budget and everything. Um,
I also think that I feel like Liberty is wanting, because she goes on to realize that they need a sponsor if they want to get better uniforms, so she appeals to Joey. And I feel like she definitely wants to, she's fighting for, women's rights and in sports and such, and funding and
Mhm.
blah blah blah. However, I also think that she just doesn't want to do so much laundry, and but then she
I don't
volunteers
think that's
herself
it,
for
cuz
so
she's
much
still going to
laundry.
have to wash the same amount.
I mean, I think that the implication was that she's having to wash them so much because they're shitty.
That's fair.
So I think that
Well, also those
her
things are
reason,
falling apart. Like
I mean,
washing them
they
is not good
totally
for them at this point.
right. Like you're degrading the material every time you put them through a high power washing machine like that, which is not, it's an industrial washing machine. It's not one for the house, so it's going to be a little bit more powerful, presumably, but they're still getting fucking
Right.
trashed.
They're getting
So
so trashed. And so she goes to Joey and he's like, "Look, I'll give you the shirt off my back, but I only have the one and I already promised it to the boys basketball team." And she's like, "But feminism and you have a daughter." And he's like, "I'll think about it."
hmm
Which never means yes.
it really doesn't.
It
Yeah.
rarely means maybe. I remember when I was little one time, my brothers and I wanted to do something, and we sent Charlie to ask my mom because he's the baby and he's the most likely to get a yes. And he goes and he's gone for a few minutes and he comes running back. He's so excited. We're hyped. I don't know what it was we wanted to do, but we think she's said yes because Charlie is just psyched.
hmm
And he gets to us. He's all out of breath and he goes, he's like maybe like 7. He's like, "Guys, she said she'd think about it."
Oh shit.
Um, which
That
I thought
means
of in this
no.
episode. It means
It
no.
means I'm just
It
gonna
doesn't
wait.
mean
I'm
maybe.
just gonna wait until you forget that you asked, was what that
Right.
means. And if you ask me again, I'm gonna tell you I'm still thinking about it.
And if you ask me a third time, I'm going to be like, "Look, I thought about it. I would really like to, but we can't." Um, so, knowing that they're not going to just get the scholarship, Liberty decides to make a bet with the boys basketball team
hmm
that they'll do a floor hockey game, and whoever wins gets the sponsorship. Which you guys don't just get to decide who Joey gives the sponsorship to,
Right.
but they
They
do.
they definitely treat Joey like a little bit of an idiot. Like he can't decide. Let's make it clear for him who's the
Hmm.
one who's gonna, the winner of this competition. Blah blah blah. Like Joey should feel insulted.
And the boys propose, actually. Winner gets the sponsorship, and then Liberty's dumbass is way overconfident.
Losers
She's
do
like,
the
"Losers do the
laundry.
laundry for a week." And I
Like
love Spinner's like, "Awesome, I sweat like a pig."
like if you set yourself up for failure, like whenever there's something, it's like akin to, you have to be my personal slave for, well they didn't well yeah, no, I used to, me and my sister used to say you have to be my personal slave. I know it's not PC, but I'm saying
Well, I am canceling 7-year-old Avis.
she's fine to be canceled. She's a tyrant. I love her. She was a tyrant. She had Liberty, like baby Liberty energy. But yeah, it's like definitely like, yeah, anytime anyone says any shit like that, you know that they're going to lose. Okay?
Right,
Like
right.
you're losing. You're gonna
It's
be
such a
doing
it's like
Spinner's
such a
jockstrap
tropey episode
laundry.
too.
Oh, totally. And I mean, it definitely reminds me, not to shoot too much back to Degrassi Classic, but it reminds me of an episode that's very similar to this, in which, you know, another girls' team is fighting to be seen as good as the boys, so they challenge them to do soccer or whatever in their own sport, and it's like, okay, y'all are recycling, and I love it because you're updating it.
I don't think it's even recycling. I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know what, that's my beef with this episode, is that like, and family politics is a little bit the same way, honestly. Is that like there are a lot of Degrassi episodes that like you're not going to see that episode somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that like this was an episode of iCarly, probably. This was an episode of Lizzie McGuire. This was an episode of like, and like the
Have you
stakes
ever
are a
seen
little bit.
iCarly?
only in passing.
Okay, so no, it's never been.
Okay, maybe it's
but totally Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire, probably some variation of it on like Zoe 101.
Definitely Zoe 101.
Even Stevens, like, you know, like, it's just,
I would
we've
say
seen
yes,
this
even Stevens too.
story.
Oh, okay, yeah, no,
So
I
many
definitely get like
times.
the whole, and I think I always think about, because the same people wrote the Degrassi Classic series as this series,
Mhm.
so it's just like, oh, we can see where there's a direct link to episodes and issues that they've tackled, and I think it's fun for them
Yeah.
to just tackle them in different ways. And I do like that Liberty is highlighted as not like the victim of the boys, if that makes
No, she's the
sense.
victim of her own
She's a
fucking
vic
hubris.
Thank you. It's not about the what the boys are like they have some shots that they're firing at her, but that she's not necessarily like her worst enemy is herself. And
Right. They didn't make her wear a cape to school.
she's just drunk on some illusion of power. And I think it's hilarious that this is the spin they put on it, instead of body issues, which is the last sports themed episode in Degrassi Classic.
Mhm.
Boobs. I'm getting boobs, so I don't want to do a swim meet. And of course,
Right.
Joey Jeremiah gets thrown in the pool in that episode, and it's fabulous.
But it's a very formulaic episode, and I
It
think that
is.
by and large Degrassi isn't, not that Degrassi's not formulaic, but it's not that like teen sitcom formula. This is like a teen sitcom episode, and it's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's
Um
definitely fine. This is one of the more like you said, you could find it in a couple different places. And I think I mean, the Degrassi spins they put on it are cute. Um but it's definitely a little bit more run of the mill than a lot of the other episodes.
mhm.
I do say a highlight for me is that these girls would really just like Liberty to calm down and like be a normal person.
No, I like the resolution. I like, so before we lose the plot too much, Miss
Yeah.
Hatsalakis is like, I'm not coaching you through this nightmare y'all got yourselves into.
Mhm.
Liberty's like, I'll coach.
Yeah.
And immediately just is like wearing a cape and being shitty with everybody, especially Manny.
The cape emboldens her bullshit.
It does. It does. The Emperor has clothes and they are bad. Um, and they start the game. Manny gets hurt. Joey's like, she's got to go to the nurse. Liberty's like, fuck no. Our alternates are alternates for a reason. She's playing.
She is so bad. Can we
She's
talk
so
about
bad.
how
It's
she
so
won't
bad.
let Joey, basically Joey has to like put his foot down as an adult, that no, you are not going to make this child play with a limp wrist in this game to satisfy a bet.
Right? And then
Like
this,
she
and then
needs to
Liberty
go
is like,
get medical
excuse me,
attention.
sir, you are not a teacher here, you are not my
Respectfully,
dad,
fuck
you are
you.
not the mayor. Respectfully, fuck you.
I do not have to listen to you. She is playing another round. Like, oh my
So
gosh.
Kendra quits. God, I love Kendra. Kendra's
Yeah, she's a
awesome.
standout in this episode. They let her, I think, do a great job at being outspoken, because right now against Emma, she's probably the only one who it makes sense for her to be so outspoken.
Hmm.
I feel like I like the role
But
they give
she's like,
Manny, because
she's very emotionally mature and
she's su-
intelligent, like
and
for a seventh grader.
it totally is. She totally is. It makes sense that she's so like, yeah, I'm not speaking out against you because you're being tough on us. I want our coach to be tough on us, but you're being unreasonable. These plays don't make sense. We're not
Right.
advancing as a team, with you as our coach for, like it's just not working. And it's very logical. And she only really is like, fuck you when Liberty goes off the damn deep end. It's just like,
Right, and
yeah,
won't let
I'm not
Mandy go to the nurse. So Liberty, or so
right.
Kendra's like, all right, try
Workers
winning down two players.
she's like, workers comp needs to, I don't know if that works in
Right.
sports, whatever. She's like, FMLA. Like, there's
And so
some
the girls
workplace
all
issues.
drop their sticks.
Yeah.
And then Liberty like has this huge change where she's all of a sudden she can be a good coach. She's like, "Look, Kendra, here's your strengths. Emma, here's yours. If you go out there, you can win this. Don't let me
Yeah,
ruin it."
right.
And then even though she's kind of proven herself, although I do think she needs a little break.
Oh yeah, I mean Emma's
Emma's
like,
like,
we
"We've
got
got
this. Sit,
this."
sit, bench yourself. Just sit down in the locker room. You don't even need to watch us. It's fine.
They don't win the game. They lose by 1 point though, which is really impressive.
It's very
And
impressive. They were getting their ass, for that very brief time beat.
yeah,
They were not united.
and Joey decides that he wants to sponsor both teams. Suddenly, he has two shirts on his
Suddenly he
back to
has
give.
the money and the right. Joey, I have the feeling you could have just easily sponsored both teams and you're just like, I don't have the money. I don't know what money is, blah, blah. But we will find out that
No,
maybe
I think
that's
Joey's
not
just
the
not that
case.
fiscally responsible.
I mean, and right, that we'll later find out that their
And
theory
like
is it gives credence to what eventually
owning
fucking
a business
happens.
is hard and expensive, and
Right.
like no judgment, even you see a lot of times with small business owners, like sometimes you got to rob Peter to pay Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you get into this cycle of doing that constantly,
Right.
which happens. Shit, I've done that, had to do that just with my personal finances before, like
Oh yeah, totally.
you
It's very
gotta.
relatable to be to spend with your heart,
But
um
it's not
and
even,
not have the money.
I'm not even talking about spending with your heart. I'm talking
Oh,
about,
I was just relating it back to Joey.
no, 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 but I'm talking about Joey too, and I'm talking about like even being fiscally responsible when you like own a business. Sometimes something can't get paid,
Yeah, of
and so
course.
you got to figure out what you can get away with not paying this month.
Of
And then you
course.
get into this like intricate dance of like, okay, this week we're paying
Sure.
power but only half of it, and eventually it catches up with you, and I think we might see that in the future with Joey.
We're
um
totally going to see that in the future with
but
Joey.
also, for as much as Joey sucks, he's
Yeah, I
got
mean,
some heart to him, and
that's
so he's like,
always
I gotta
yeah,
support both teams because you both showed up.
that's always been a big highlight of his character, which is I think why he's a favorite versus
Hmm.
his actual like the shitty things that he has done. They definitely get kind of given some like we're affording you something some goodwill because you are not always an asshole. You have great
Right.
peaks of okay, you're doing decent things. Um yeah, and I mean, I think it's sweet at the end how they go in and kind of fake Liberty out and they're like, we look great, and show her that they got the new uniforms, and then they also show her that she has her very own jersey with team manager on the back. So all's well that ends well, but I really just think that the biggest thing that Liberty will not learn is that, you know, best not to lead with your crazy. Might want to
Right.
put that, might want to let that simmer versus coming in
Hmm.
hot cuz those girls might it's like what's that saying, you don't realize you're in a boiling pot of water if the heat is turned up gradually or something. I don't know. That
It's
might be
that
an
thing about,
elongated.
there's this theory, and it's not actually true, that if you put a frog in a pot of water and
Oh,
you
yeah.
gradually heat the water, the frog won't notice that it's
It being,
boiling
yeah.
till it's boiling. But
Mhm.
it's also not true. And also,
Totally.
don't just like boil
Don't
live frogs.
boil
That's a
live
dick
frogs.
move.
That's a very violent theory, and I feel like way too many people have tested it, which is morbid. But yeah.
It's,
The
well, okay, so like as an actual legitimate theory, but like as a more like metaphorical thing, it absolutely
yeah,
makes sense.
right.
Like,
The metaphorical thing is because I just think anybody can be conditioned into something, unfortunately.
right,
So had she maybe not led with that, she might have gotten
right.
them on the hook of, how about she led
You
with, oh,
start with a smaller cake.
yeah, like maybe don't bring out the 600-page mantras about who
Right.
writes all the fucking plays and shit that like for her to distribute in large book format. Like, I don't know.
Kudos to Liberty for the work she did, because this is early internet. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like
She knows how to field her resources, boy. She knows what she's
um
doing. But the B plot is so fucking weird.
it's another one of those, like, it's very, some version of this has been done before
Yeah, it's like I feel like the tone
in
shifts so odd. Right. It's like a definitely one you could just take the copy and go to another show and swap out the names. I mean,
right, you switch the
there's
scenario up a little bit,
yeah,
that
there's
like
nothing Paige specific. There's nothing Hazel maybe a little bit Ashley specific because I do think it's within Ashley's character to be like to suss out bullshit because no one's paying
I
attention
mean,
to her,
it's
but
within it's within
everyone sort of type.
it's within Paige's scope and Hazel's scope as an extension of Paige to do mean girl bullshit.
Yeah.
It's within Terry's scope to fall for it.
It
And
is.
like,
Yeah, they're
but it's
typecast, but I
so
mean, it's
dumb.
like only the people who had to, like, all of these players, everybody has to play a certain role, obviously. And these are the only combination of characters within this friend group that could do that.
I don't know.
I mean, believably, you're not going to throw, who else are you going to throw in there? You can't throw
I
Ashley
mean,
in there because she
it
doesn't
wouldn't
have
be
that
the
dynamic.
same. Like, you wouldn't keep it with palm reading, but you could 100% have a Spinner and Jimmy thing
Oh yeah, I
wherein,
was talking
like,
about the girls, not any other friend group.
I don't know.
Yeah, because you could totally swap it between the grade not eights. You could throw it into Liberty and their
yeah,
friend
yeah.
group,
That's the thing, is it could
but
happen
it could happen
anywhere.
at
It could
any
happen with the boys.
little
Like, it's
pouch of
been
students,
done.
right?
We have seen this
But I think
so
what
many times.
I found a little bit like funny watching the episode is how the tone shifts and how they're trying to make it high stakes. They make it serious by saying, "Oh, you're gonna die," and then like there's
Hmm.
a beat and it's, "Oh, I do have a lifeline," and then it's like mischievous, and now the tone shifted to that little slinky music where it's like that little rattle music where it's like, "Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know," da da da, and then it's serious for a beat again when Ashley gets involved because she realizes, "Oh, bullshit is afoot." And we don't, because Ashley's involved now, it could be potentially some serious shit and it could be a confrontation. And then we think we
right.
might get some kind of snarky, like
And we
semi
get like
serious
nothing.
confrontation. There's no payoff. That fucking cop out music that they literally just chase each other to at the end, like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you, Michael Chuck. Like, it's so cheesy. It's so cheesy. Like, I think
it's
it's
so, yeah. It
hilarious.
felt like it needed like a laugh track.
I think it would have benefited from a laugh track because that's like the tone that they were going for at multiple points. like
Hmm.
like who says being dead wasn't any fun? Like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
it's so like it's so
and it's
canned
just mean.
humor.
And
It's
it's like
very
the
mean
fact that,
spirited. And
so at
Terry's
one
fucking
point,
pimple. She gets a pimple from the stress.
from the stress, oh my god, it's such a bad pimple. We'll post a picture on the socials.
Hmm.
Um, but Terry, like, okay, you want to fuck with her for a minute, fine. But when you find out that she didn't have time to do her book report and she's going to get like a 10% grade drop,
Right. That was the
that's when
time.
you make a miraculous recovery. You don't then be like, let's go to a movie and make Terry pay for both of us.
Right. Like, it's definitely like you see the like potential to have a little bit of like dynamic. Oh, I might feel a little bad about this, but then she completely just floors it into being a stereotype again. She's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm going to be mean." It's like, "Oh, I could be the character that they're actually letting me be in other episodes, but for this episode, I am a mean girl only."
I'm a mean girl and I suck. I
And I
hate it.
suck.
Are
And
you,
then
should we,
Hazel super sucks more than normal. She's got all the mean
yeah.
dialogue.
Can
Um,
we move it on out of this episode and talk about, we can go on down to the corner maybe.
the corner, sure, absolutely the
I
fashion.
feel like we've covered the plot, right? There's nothing like,
Yeah, I hit all my bullet points.
badass. I'm sorry. This episode's just exhausting and I don't want to spend any more time.
Got it.
Um, I just need to pull up my fashion. Sorry, did you have more to say?
No,
Okay. I just feel like this episode is so boring.
it is.
Um, okay. Fashion, fashion, fashion.
There was not a
I
lot
only
of
have
fashion.
there's not. Emma's hat.
Good or bad?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Not on her.
Who would you like it better on? I mean, honestly, here's what I forgot. I honestly thought it was a little bit bigger. Here's my issue. I was imagining when I described it at the top of the episode, guys, I described it as like one of those little floppy, like kind of sun hats, like think Mary Kate and Ashley, like
Mhm.
Jean felt like those sort of hat. This is not that. This is essentially a fleece Scully.
Yeah. I
Not
don't
even
know
a
that I
Scully. It's
I
like it
don't know
should.
that I like it on anyone, but
I
I
don't
know that
think
I don't like it on Emma.
it's very tight. I don't think it's no, I actually thought it
It
was a
sits
different
like right at the
my
top of her
brain
ears.
yeah, like my brain is kind of refusing to accept this hat as it is and it keeps filling in more material to the hat. My my brain kind of can't comprehend this and I'm staring right at it, guys. So
It's not good.
it's
And then
so
also
weird.
Liberty's wearing that fucking shirt from season 1 again that I hate so much.
Oh, and they just want to, like we said, they just want to make her wear it as many times. Like, we're going to get our money's worth out of this fucking $10 whatever monstrosity. It's
I
no
hate it.
better
I
this
hate it.
time.
Why is the like fake vest not in the back at least?
Oh,
Commit.
it's, yeah. They don't want to commit. That's why it sucks so bad because it's lazy. It's just so
It's
lazy.
so lazy.
Sorry, cropping you out, Kendra. But yeah, this is such a bad hat. Okay, so um Paige, I think these are repeat glasses, but she serves them. I think
They
these are
are
repeat.
definitely repeat glasses, but there she does.
She
She's serving.
does. And then I also think that this might be a repeat outfit of Terry's in the jean skirt with the like she's got a gray overlay, not a gray overlay, what the fuck? A gray sweatshirt and like a bluish shirt. Like it just looks like
And it
they
would be cute, but she's got the granny sneakers on again.
yes. Yeah. I don't know why they don't want her to look cute.
They hate her.
They hate her. Um so,
Also, can we talk about Terry's fucking cornrows?
we may
Because
briefly.
it's been going on for a while now.
She doesn't. She, she just would like to let everyone know that she is entitled to wear cornrows, and like that's her only fashion statement is wearing those cornrows.
They're not particularly like they're not awful, but they're not well done, and they don't look good.
What any more fashion? I feel like there was just like
I had
oh yeah, there
a
was one more.
couple. I have
Yeah,
a fashion don't, which is Liberty's fucking cape.
it is a fashion don't. She's
It is a
very
fashion
and I
don't.
mean it makes her feel better, which I guess makes it it gives her like confidence, which fashion should do. However, gives her the wrong kind of confidence, and it also kind of looks a little dorky.
Yeah, it's not her best look.
No. Um.
But she
So
tried something and she felt confident. It's
yeah, I mean
not that much worse than the boots, really.
it's not, and I think that she just naturally owned this. I don't think it was ever a part of like a Halloween costume. I just genuinely think that she owned this and maybe wears it around her house
I would
sometimes
believe that Liberty owns a cape just for the sake
just
of
for the
owning a cape.
sake of owning a fucking cape. Yeah, just for
But
the drama of it.
I would also believe that like the Van Sant family is like the type of family that like regularly goes to shit like Ren fairs or
Oh
like
yeah.
pioneer villages or like whatever. Like I could see the Van Sant family having a collection of costumes from different time periods for different like historical shit that they do.
Yes, absolutely. I could see that too. That's very believable with the lore of the family we know so far that he, it seems very
I
regal.
mean, he knows the mayor.
Yeah, they got a lot of, you know, they got vibes. But one of them for me was Emma's like jacket. I liked
Mm-hmm.
her denim jacket with the orange.
You've got the weirdest taste in denim jackets.
I do. I like a busy ass denim jacket. Now,
I am learning this about you.
it's so because like I actually have a couple in my collection, my personal collection. I have one that has like the I'll have to take a picture of it 'cause I can be really bad at describing outfits, but it's like that plaid looking, the one that looks like the most Scottish plaid
Mm-hmm.
with the red in it, and
Yeah.
it's like patterned on the front of like a jean shirt, and the back is the actual jean material, and the front is patches of the it's a cute.
I'm gonna like buy a jean jacket and like add some crochetness to it.
That would be so cool. I would
It'll
cream.
take I'll have to wait until the like inspiration strikes,
Oh
but
yeah, totally. Let it be organic. Let you just see the
um
right kind of
Avis
jacket and
loves
the
the
right
weird
kind of
denim
material.
jacket. I do
I
not.
do. I like s- like details, like statement pieces with like intricate details, or even like I love a pop of color. Like she's channeling. It's giving me like Xenon of the girl of the 21st century vibes. Just might like only thing is they don't wear jean in Xenon, so the jean would have to be like
Right.
lycra. Like we'd have to swap it out.
Oh my god, how many can we just like abandon ship and become a Xenon podcast?
I'd actually totally be down for that. I have so many things to say about about that entire franchise. Like, oh my god, so
Venus
many thoughts.
Lapidus.
So right,
Do you
it's
have any
already
more
been the door's already been opened.
do you have
Um,
any more fashion?
I do. So it's just Kendra, and like she's got, it looks like basically an off-brand Bratz doll head, but this is before Bratz doll, so I don't know what this
Yeah.
logo is.
You know what it reminds me of almost is, do you remember those like dress up doll games on the computer?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me kind of
Oh yeah.
like it could be one of those
Yeah.
almost.
I would buy that,
No,
especially
it's
to be on brand with Kendra.
mhm.
Yeah, I like her that it's like a white shirt with the emblem of a girl with, possibly orangey blonde hair. And then she's got on this, athletic looking jacket with a cute varsity collar. Like I like it. I like that they gave
Yeah.
her a non-repeating outfit in this in this scene. But yeah, I think Manny was just not giving. I don't.
Yeah, no,
I
normally you
it
can count
sucked.
on Manny,
You
but
can normally count on Manny to be in the background, but her three outfits in this episode suck. And they got him in athletic wear for like half of the shit. So, yeah, that's it for me for fashion.
we've got a Hun to add to the tally.
We
Paige,
do.
we do. When Terry is reading Paige's palm and she takes her palm and she looks at it, she sees there's no lifeline. She's just like, it looks great. And Paige goes, Hun, I was kind of looking for a reading.
Yeah,
And so that's another Hun to add to the tally.
lovely. I did. We'll have to give. We give it last? Yeah, we did at the recap. We gave a
Yeah,
recap of
yeah,
how many
because we're
hunts we
keeping
did.
track of
We're
it.
keeping track.
That's why it's
That's
not really
why
significant to the episodes. It's a like over
it's an
time. Because I'm
overarching
always wondering, is it a thing she
project.
says a lot, or
Hmm.
is it like that one Degrassi mini?
Just like the Manny, are you? You're just jealous. I actually, I mean, she probably to bring it back to Manny, she probably doesn't say this again, but I feel like it's something that she does say again. Why are you picking on me? I don't know why.
I could
I
see
think
that.
fair. I just like I heard it and I was like her voice like she's gotten out of that babyish voice. So this is pretty
Hmm.
much how Cassie sounds for the rest of the show. Like she dips a little deeper, but like this is we love I love a woman with a little bass in her voice. So okay, no shade being thrown to Cassie Steele's voice, but she get like I think hearing that line delivery, I'm like, I think she maybe says this again. I'm gonna.
It's so weird to watch Degrassi as an adult because, like, especially in the early seasons where, like, they really are kind of doing it real time,
Mm-hmm.
you watch them, like, grow up. It's weird,
It is weird.
Like,
We're still in the process for JT York, but yeah, I think it's time to head
I
to
mean, I think
the.
JT's never going to grow up, but
He's not. I mean, spoiler alert, he won't. Um, I think it's
on
damn.
that note,
On that bleak note, it's time to head to the part of town where they fire shots. Pew pew
Pew,
pew
pew, pew,
pew pew
pew.
pew.
Shots fired.
I really liked Spinner's delivery in particular was really great when they're like getting ready, when they're making the bet or they're about to,
Mhm.
and Liberty's like, "You really think you're better than us?" And he goes, welcome to the conversation." Yeah.
There's some good spinner zingers in here.
Mm-hmm.
One of mine is Ashley like chastising Terry, like saying, "Didn't you learn anything last year about playing with dark magic?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, of course they had to give her that line. Um, um, and then not long after that, Paige bullying Terry, saying, "What do you see, Terry?" Armstrong saying, "I see Paige Michael Chuck in detention after school."
Can I just say shout out to Armstrong? He's looking fine in this 2 pack.
He is. He's serving athleisure, like
Yeah.
like many years before that movement. He's like
Well,
math teacher, gym teacher. I don't
health
care.
teacher.
Health teacher. I don't care. I wear many hats and only a couple shirts. um.
I also liked when Liberty shows up in her cape and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "I look regal, commanding." And Kendra goes, "Stupid."
um. I feel Kendra was. I love her. But Liberty saying to Mrs. H, "But we need a supervisor," and Mrs. H saying, "Yes, yes, you do," with with all the shade. And then speaking of Spinner zingers, I have him saying, well, zinger against Spinner. I have him saying it's just a hockey game, and then I have Liberty saying, "No, Spinner, it's your funeral."
Speaking of Spinner, Spinner's face when Liberty says that thing about knowing when to abandon the lion to chase the fox or whatever,
Yeah.
and Spinner makes a face. I'll have it on the Insta.
It's probably
Um,
pretty similar to the face that I made while watching it. Like,
yeah, and then also when Manny's asking like where this play is, and Liberty's like, "Page 16. Did you read it? Maybe you don't know how to read."
oh my
Which is
god.
just like super. Fuck you, Liberty.
Right. Like, why are you picking on me? I just have my
Right, because
period.
you're the weakest link.
I just have my fuck you, Liberty. um, and then my final shot to fire is at the Degrassi makeup person. I'm sure you tried very hard. However, I'm still firing the shot because what the fuck was that zit? We were briefly talking about it in pre-show about how it could just be like that exaggerated version, and I think with the episode, just having our discussion, it's very probable that that's why it was done. to,
Well, and
to
it's
be an
like the front
exaggeration,
on shot is bad enough,
and then they'd go
but
to the
then there's like this
side.
real
It's
quick
like a
side shot, and it
gnarl.
goes out like a
Yeah,
quarter
it's
inch.
like a little.
It's not good. It's
I'm
not a
putting
good
my
time.
pinky up to like symbolize like it's like a little bit of a pinky coming off her head. There's an extension. It's pretty exaggerated, but it's supposed to be a kooky toned episode at points, so I am pretty sure that is why it was done. But I still, come
It's
on, shots.
it's
I'm firing a
shots
shot.
fired.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think we're good to go to the dark side of town for
The dark side of town.
for
We're
dressed in black. Okay. In Dressed in Black, roses are red, violets are blue. I know you, the real you. I kind of want to give a second one. However, I do think that's perfect.
I kind of love that one, but I kind of, if you felt comfortable, would love
A second one.
No. Here's what I want. Here's what I want. Here's
Mhm.
what I want. Hear me out. Roses are red, violets
Oh, you want
are
me to
blue.
sing it? Okay, I'll try to sing it. I'm not going to sound as good as Ashley. Come on now.
That's fine.
In Dressed in Black, roses are red, violets are blue. I know you, the real you. That was so hard, guys.
I know. I loved it so much. This is what you get for not reading the script.
This is what I get. This is entirely what I get.
In Avis's defense, guys, we started recording at like 7:30 in the morning, and I finished the script at like 10:30 last night. So
it's also slightly unhinged last night, and it's like okay. Ashley and Jimmy are back together, but something's not quite right. Ashley feels like Jimmy wants her to go back to her old self, and she's not having it. With a little help from Craig Manning and William Shakespeare, she realizes there's only one thing she can do: write a weird breakup poem in his 8th grade yearbook and back away slowly as he reads it. Over in grade 8, JT convinces Toby to buy condoms. Of course, Spinner finds the condoms, and now Toby must fear for his life. And I have to say off the top, because this is another thing we talked about in pre-show, I don't hate this song, but I also think it's hilarious now that I've sang it in a comedic context.
it's I don't know. It's not the song itself. It's the culmination of the song and Ashley just surrounded by candlelight and like intensely staring at Jimmy as she plays her song for him. And the faces that man is making, and it's just like the secondhand embarrassment is like it gives me a visceral reaction. It is the crux of why I hate Ashley.
No, actually, I think I it's like this song is one of those ones in this universe where I actually think that you could listen to it in a real context. Like it's in my head, and it's not in a bad way. um like I don't get super like irked when I hear this song, but I definitely think what it has going against it is how melodramatic it is, and how like it's so set up to be what it ends up coming across as. Like,
Right.
we are not supposed to necessarily, like, we're supposed to focus on the fact that she says, I know you, the real you, like staring at him with her eyes wide, like,
Which, like, she doesn't. Jimmy is not particularly brave.
he's not.
He's not. What is it? You're brave, but you don't see it.
You you show, but wait, you brave, but you don't know it. It's something. God damn it.
Hold on. I'm just going to Google
Yeah.
it real quick.
That's yeah, because like this fucking show, like, it's not a bad song. I just what I think happens most for me during this song is I want to laugh. I want to laugh at her, and that's not
Okay. So this says that it's you breathe, but you can't see it. But I thought it was you're brave, but you can't see it. So I guess he does.
Yeah,
breathe.
you're brave. It says you're brave, but you can't see it. I'm on Tubi. Are you on HBO?
I'm on. No, I just looked up I'm on Degrassi freaklyrics.com or .html.
I went right to the tab. Okay, so you're brave, but you don't see it. You're strong, but you can't feel it.
You're good, but you don't know it.
You're good, but you don't know it. And I mean,
I know you. The
yeah,
real
I know
you.
you, the
The
real.
real
And
you.
let's saw her ass through a damn black cloth over her lamp, and she got so ready and into
Oh.
and I love how they introduce her wearing this like the particular heavy eye makeup in this episode. So they're like really trying to emphasize, and I think in this lighting it just makes her look so fucking unhinged in
Yeah, yeah, no,
the
it's
most sincerest like definition of that word.
so
She looks like
uh,
mentally like she's on the brink of
it's just it's all so I can feel it. My like inner 14-year-old girl is
yeah,
like throwing up
vomiting uncontrollably.
from like not even like, oh, this is awful, but just like it's so embarrassing and cringy.
It is, and honestly, if anyone like catch me in the street singing now, it will be in my head for the next couple days. I know you, and don't judge me, okay? Because this is like pop level like repetition that my ADHD brain loves to just
uh,
play on a fucking loop. I'm one of those people that can listen to a song for about 36 hours straight and like get a new vibe each time I listen to it.
I get
That
obsessive
drives some people
about
crazy.
I get obsessive about albums to the point where like Spotify will be like, no, I'm not going to let you listen to this anymore for a while.
Like listen to other things. There's other music.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, no, but I just need to listen to this Glass Animals album 12 more times, please.
I see that's probably my one issue as someone who loves music is I have such a short attention span and it has to be like a great album and I don't take the time because I know I have such a short attention span to listen to most albums. So like I'll zone out halfway through an album if I try to listen to it and one song doesn't count. Like I'm so weird. But
See, I like a good playlist. I have like my songs that are my songs, but like I like an album that's made to be listened to like an album.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've got like a few of those that I've gotten like constant rotation. Melodrama by Lord, because I read this unhinged fucking PowerPoint about how it's about Lord having a summer fling with Jack Antonoff while he was still with Lena Dunham.
Oh my gosh, I don't even.
And it
I
just hits
only
so
yeah.
much better than.
You're like I have whole new found context for this. Yeah, I feel like the album did this come out in 2023? I think it did. SZA's new album. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to listen to that from the beginning to the end, and it was really really good. But you know, people I believe people don't make albums anymore, so it can be very difficult to want to because it's like, oh, a lot of these songs are unnecessary. So when I do hear people say, oh, I this entire album is good, I do take it pretty seriously because there's so many songs that are
Right.
skippable and are just
I
literally
think like
waste of
even like
space.
an album can have like a weak track or two, but there's still like there are certain albums that I feel like you're supposed to listen to start to finish. Like it's got
Yeah, it's a progression, it's
and
a
even with a
story.
weak track or two, if it all builds together the right way, I'm like, fuck yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna listen to this album.
I can be pretty lenient, especially if I like the artist, but it has to be it has to be a genre that like is going to keep my attention. I don't know.
Right.
I could not listen to a whole album of this version of Ashley. It would be so hard. You'd be so fucking emotionally like just cringed out and a combination
Right.
like of just like damn I used to think like this and like just so
Yeah,
many
no.
emotions and it's like all in album form like I'm good. But like I said oh my gosh, this riff is gonna be stuck in my fucking head. It's so bad.
I know, I've been dreading it. I hate this song so much.
It's like Caroline's like oh and I said I didn't hate this song and she's like oh
Well, how about you sing it, bitch?
like two roads diverged in a yellow wood and I took the one less traveled by. That's how I felt about that conversation. Like, damn, Avis lost you. Like, but yeah, it's not the worst. She goes on to write like the one before. What was the one before the?
Poor Thing is good. Mr. Nice Guy is good.
Mr. Nice Guy's.
Mr. Nice Guy's a fucking
It's a bob.
banger.
It's a bob. Although Shane Kipple does not remember it.
I mean, he didn't remember Dust either.
remember
He's like,
Dust.
was I in that band?
He's like, huh?
So
What? Which is completely fair. Like,
okay, so more things. Despite what you may believe, more things happen in this episode than just Ashley's painful song.
Mm-hmm.
It's so painful.
It's like literally the first 15 to 20 seconds of the episode. It just eclipses the episode of 22 minutes for me, though. It's like, I'm still thinking about that opening scene and the drama, which, I mean, I think theme-wise, thematically, a dramatic, there are many dramatic set pieces in this fucking episode, but Quan is playing a role again. Oh, I wanted to bring that up. So essentially the setup, sorry, let's do the plot. The setup for this A plot is, Jimmy and Ashley are reunited. Jimmy is not being honest with this girl that he does not like, he's not super attracted to her sudden change in appearance, that she's transformed into Elvira overnight. Basically, he's right. It's not his thing, but he loves her for who she maybe used to be. I don't know. For who she is, like he's into her inside parts, but just not those inside parts. So they get paired up in Quan's class for a scene in Taming of the Shrew. Ashley is with Craig and Jimmy is with Hazel, and obviously I must assert that fucking Quan sees the shift in their outward appearances, and
yep, she's not hating them as much anymore. She's playing matchmaker.
She's like, no, you two kiss. You two are a much better fit for each other. But like, I will say that once Ashley and Craig are on screen together, they work. They make a lot more like clicking sense, and it's an interesting dynamic to watch versus the kind of secondhand embarrassment I personally experience watching any of the scenes that Jimmy and Ashley are in together, trying to look like they like each other because they don't.
Right. I want to take a second and like really give it to Jake Epstein in this episode.
He's, oh my gosh, chills every time.
That scene, so they decide to they're like, no, this is abusive and gross.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide to portray it that way. So when they do their scene, which also they do like 4 lines.
And they're given a whole
scene.
I mean, there's like a page and a page on one large copy sheet, which is, if you've ever read Shakespeare, and plays in general, they're smaller in a book
we
form.
See Craig practicing lines that don't happen on stage. And we see the entirety of their performance. So like, I don't love that. But so Ashley is a housewife and Craig looks like his dad. He's wearing a suit jacket and a tie. Glasses. He even puts on the glasses.
Yeah.
And he reads the lines, and it's really well done.
And I think he scares himself. I think it's implied that he scares himself by how good at that he was, and he wants to
like quickly takes off those glasses and is like, no.
But like, I have to ask, how else can you really interpret that scene in the Taming of the Shrew? Have you read the whole Taming of the Shrew play?
Not in a long time, but I watched like 10 Things I Hate About You.
I was gonna, and it's basically the same. I haven't read that shit since 8th grade, Mr. DeNenno's class. I love that guy, and I actually thought it was probably too advanced for us at that time. But I was in an advanced class. So I was like, oh, there's a lot of themes on here. But I never saw it as I saw it as partially comedic, but more that Kate was a funny character and a wry, sarcastic character. Not that it was.
Well, exactly.
Not right.
Kate is the star of that show. Right.
She's the comedic element, and it's about her no longer being able to be free, and and the reputation she's built up.
I think that's the thing about Shakespeare is that like a lot of it, it's just so much better, like, seeing it.
Right, absolutely.
And it's
It makes so
interesting
much
how
more sense.
see you can see a Shakespeare play,
Hmm.
the same play, but like different cast, different director, and you are
Yeah,
seeing a different play every single time.
totally different interpretation. And like, I think that it's funny that I mean that for once Kwan gives an assignment that I actually think is a good assignment that
Hmm.
teaches you about Shakespeare. I don't really agree with her saying, you didn't think it was funny after she shows them the film. It's like, it's not really supposed to be funny, haha, especially not like, it's not supposed to really be a funny, haha, like play. But I think that saying that like
I
it's not, it shouldn't be read as like intense. I feel like a lot of the passages are intense and they're supposed, and they're, it's
right,
hard to read them any other way. Like, I think that Hazel and Jimmy's interpretation is the one that's a little bit more like, how did you arrive at this conclusion? Like, why do you think that this is romantic?
right,
Like,
yeah,
as a
yeah.
teacher,
No,
they
it's
just got little,
Shakespeare's
yeah,
weird, and
it
I
is
don't think
weird.
that we need to teach as much Shakespeare as we do
Right.
at Degrassi.
I mean, the notion that, oh, we're teaching it because it's been around this long and it's still being taught, it's because you guys decide to continue teaching it. The
Well,
fuck?
and it's interesting too because we hold it in such high regard, and it's like
Yeah.
Shakespeare is like fucking crude
It's right.
and
It's very low.
like,
It was considered super low brow. Like, it's not tasteful
yeah. Like the whole, like, in Romeo and
and
Juliet, the like
accessible.
I bite my thumb at thee thing, like that's
Yeah.
them flipping each other off. That's like
Yes.
this whole scene of like,
Mm-hmm.
I flip you off, sir. Do you flip me off? I flip off, but not at you. Like, man, now I gotta go watch Romeo plus Juliet.
I love that
Oh,
movie.
same.
Like, what? And
It's
it's
so
so
good.
good. It's like I love a good like immersive film, and that to me is one that like you screen. Like, it's an epic film. Like, you need to screen that on like a big, like the
It's so
biggest screen
aesthetically
possible.
pleasing,
It's
and
so
like
pleasing. Every
everybody's
decision.
so
Oh,
good.
yes.
Fucking Mercutio.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's like, and I really like, all of the characters are so vivid, and I mean they make book sense. Like, it is the play. Very like very like very
Hmm.
very truthful to it.
Yeah,
And it's my favorite adaptation. I mean, of course I love me some Olivia Hussey, but they shouldn't have did all that.
I
That one's
saw.
slow as shit too.
So last year I saw a live outdoor performance of it last
Hmm.
summer that my friend's girlfriend directed. She does a thing called Shakespeare, and
Hmm.
it's all
Oh, cool.
gay interpretation. So they did a like lesbian Romeo and Juliet, where like I want to say the Montagues were like butch mechanic lesbians, and then the Capulets were like very femme. It was really fun,
That's
and that was
cute.
a good production. But
Yeah.
Romeo plus Juliet, John Leguizamo, it's so well cast. If you haven't
It's
seen it, see it. It's
Please,
good.
it's heavily endorsed by the
By the
podcast,
pad.
by the podcast, obviously. Like, we're not telling you what to do, but it's also the best adaptation.
Yeah, I'm not the boss of you, but also you should listen to me.
Yes. And also, I mean, Taming of the Shrew has a good one with
Just
Olivia
watch
Taylor. Like, I
just
mean,
watch 10 Things I Hate About You.
isn't does Olivia is her name? No, I don't know. I don't know if her name is Olivia. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor. Miss Purple
Just
Eyes. Yeah,
just watch 10 Things I Hate About You. It's
you can
better.
you can skip that,
It is
but
funny.
look up pictures of Elizabeth Taylor if you don't know who she is in that film in particular, because she's hot in that film. But yes, 10 Things I Hate About You is a pretty superior interpretation of that material. But I just feel so bad for Hazel and Jimmy when they're performing, honestly, because it just reads as so inept. And I know they're supposed to be ninth graders and they're not supposed to think.
Hmm.
But I think it's like, obviously, it's like story wise, this is like they make so much sense because they both see things the same way. And then
Right.
Craig and Ashley make so much sense because they joke about death and dying and they're both morbid in the same
I
way.
mean, but it does, like, it does, because
It
Craig
does. It's
It
that
does. They
simple,
make
guys.
sense.
They make sense.
Jimmy and Ashley never made sense.
And the chemistry, like I said, the chemistry between Jake Epstein and Melissa McIntyre is much better. Much better. Like, I actually am interested watching them. Their scenes are more interesting than Jimmy and Ashley's scenes.
It sucks that they, like, spoiler alert, but, like, Craig's not
this
really
is not
the
a good,
best boyfriend, unfortunately.
No.
And it sucks because the ways that he and Ashley are good together,
yeah,
they're, like, really good together.
They totally are.
Can we also talk about, I feel like it fits more into the B plot, but it also fits into the A plot when they're having dinner at Ashley's house, and they're talking about handing out condoms, and, like, y'all just got back together, and Ashley is acting like an angry, like, middle-aged, sick of her marriage, because she like wants Jimmy to have an opinion.
Sick of her marriage, heavy on the sick of her marriage.
And then he finally gives his opinion, and it's different from hers, and he's like, sorry, I don't agree with you. And she goes, don't be. You're allowed to have an opinion. I just wish I didn't have to drag it out of you.
Like, girl, what, like, did you just cast yourself as, like, the poor, like, long married suburban wife who's just wants her husband to, like, not be a piece of toast? Like, that's not your situation. Like, Jimmy is literally just trying not to endorse condoms in front of your like, he's just trying to lay low and eat some fucking Kraft dinner. Like, leave him the fuck alone. He's starving. Like, he's not trying to fuck with you and this condom talk. Like, I don't know.
He's had the usual 6 times a week since y'all broke up. He wants that burger and Kraft dinner. He doesn't want to talk about condoms with your fucking parents.
Why do you have to make every dinner so awkward, Ashley? Gosh. But I want to know why Jeff is so fucking squeamish about condoms and sex when he's just co-piloting showing these kids porn.
Right? We can show them porn, but don't
they
give
better
them
not be having the sex or condoms or anything. Yeah. Don't, goodness forbid they be safe.
I mean, I don't think it's about him not wanting kids to be safe. It's that idea that, like, if you give kids condoms, they're gonna have sex. And, like, plenty of them are gonna have sex anyway. And Manny's like, what does it mean to abstain?
Oh my gosh.
Spoiler alert, she's not gonna
remember. Literally, the way that she
remember the condoms either.
The way that she asked that is so pointed. It's hilarious. Like, I don't know if they knew that I don't know. Why did she say it like that?
I don't know. But
it's like we're getting a foreshadowing that she is not going to retain this.
It's such
so funny.
Oh, Manuela.
Right, like, oh Manny Santos.
But
yeah.
But yeah, so Ashley's just, like, super unhappy in this relationship. And then it's like, let me revert to my old look.
Yeah, this is the second episode where she does that.
Is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, because she starts dressing more like she was on the outs with her friends, and so she wasn't dressing like, it wasn't like she was dressing like this, obviously, but she was dressing different, and then she started dressing popular again or whatever.
Well, she hadn't gone full goth yet. She was just
right.
Kind of
yeah,
like,
she wasn't. She was just.
She
blah.
hadn't even really gone.
She hasn't.
Yeah, she was just laying low because her self.
She was laying low, and then she started kind of like trying to.
And then she was like, "Now I'm
prior self." And then she, after that rejection, she went full goth. So it's like a reminiscent of that, sort of trying to go back to a past self and realizing you can never go back.
I noticed when she's looking through Jimmy's old yearbook, her 9th grade picture is in it. The one where she's wearing the sweatshirt from Karma Chameleon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they print yearbooks mighty fast and out of fucking year order, I guess.
They break the space-time continuum.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm glad you saw it, because I was literally, like, the shit I was paying attention to wasn't that, but I got other things. The fact that they just thought that, oh yeah, her hair is significantly longer and in a different hairstyle, let's just push that in there. Like she looks completely different in eighth
Well,
grade.
it's because she looks more eighth grade. No, because it's when her
Right.
hair's still longer. Like,
Right, it's at her shoulders instead of like in that
yeah, but
bob
it's we
straight.
just saw her take that
We
picture.
just right, like we just remember, take the picture. I'm just saying some of the line deliveries live in my head rent free. But yeah, it's he the fact that Jimmy is so like has such a like in like enjoy like in I lost that whole thing. Affinity. The fact that Jimmy has such an affinity for her old picture, I think that she takes it as him being like, I refuse to accept who you are now, which he didn't
Right.
say. He put the picture up next to it, and it's not like, and I get that why that's insulting or offensive maybe, but I don't think that that reads him like the way that she kind of like attacks him on stage when she's explaining
Yeah.
her the motivations for why they went so dark with their assignment. I just think it's not fair because I think she did that to herself. Jimmy didn't
It's
do
a
that
lot
to
of
her.
projecting, and
Right,
also
it's like, come on girl, they didn't
also
force you to do any of that.
it's a horrible picture.
It is a horrible picture and it's not superior to the beautiful lighting and like
Like
Model
the light
S.
is weird, and like
She's
the
not
smile
smile.
the
It's
smile that she gives Craig after,
after
like when
is
he's handing
so
her back the
cute.
camera, is such a
Yes,
good smile,
it
but like
is. And then she's like,
it's
thanks.
almost
It's
like
a
a
yes.
mugshot
It yep. She's against some
or like a
lockers. Those
passport
orange
photo.
those orange ass lockers are doing nothing for her complexion. Like,
Yeah.
no girl, no girl. I would put it up next to like a superior like quality photo as well. It's not, and I mean obviously that's not the point. Like Jimmy likes the way she prefers the way she looked before, but he's still with her now. So the fact that like he is willing to, and I mean he does go, like he's fumbling his way through this, but he does genuinely care about her, you can tell. He's still, and it's always her being like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, except I do want to do this, but then I don't want to do this now. No, I want to do it again, Jimmy. I lied.
But also he doesn't like her goth look, and
He
that's
doesn't,
fine.
and
Y'all
that's
shouldn't be
fine.
together anyway.
Exactly. I think that's the more the conclusion versus her saying, "Oh, you tried to tame me." No, the fuck he didn't. You tried to
Right,
tame
you made that
yourself. You
choice.
made the choice. He said he was getting used to it. Like it's a big shift from how you like used to dress. And
Right.
I think that it's not fair to put the to put the blame solely on him when he was expressing an opinion you had to drag out of him, and you are feeling insecure already. You already know what the answer is. It kind of doesn't matter what he says. You already know that you feel like he doesn't like the way you look because of things he said. So, okay, why do you feel like that means, oh, I need to change versus, oh, I don't know. Obviously, it's a journey her ass had to go through, but she just puts a lot of blame on Jimmy when it wasn't his fault and he didn't do that. He didn't ask her to do any of
Right.
that or tell her or force her or guilt her. He didn't do any of that shit. I would actually maybe be more on her side if there was like some guilt involved, like, oh, I do really, like the way you used to dress. It would be nice if occasionally I could see that again or blah blah blah. Like he doesn't do any of that.
No.
He just doesn't say anything.
It's fine. They shouldn't be together.
They
And
shouldn't. They just they're not a good couple. They're just like they've never really been a good couple. They were not a good couple when Ashley dressed the way she used to dress. They just were
no,
never
they
a good
don't like each
couple.
other. They don't agree on shit. Like they're not like it's
Like
fine.
you want
Stop
someone to
being
have an
together.
opinion, right? Like the fact that Craig is just naturally who she is wanting,
Mhm.
just in a like he's gonna speak his mind. He's going to he's heavily opinionated. Obviously he's not like he's just somebody that gets where she's at right now, and there's just a click with them that she can naturally feel, and she knows that it's not there with Jimmy.
Right.
She doesn't need to like I think that she's just holding on to that because like what her fucking morbid ass poem at the end say, like we cling to each other,
It's so.
chaos or something. I don't know. It
And she's
just
like backing away. Love
love
always,
always,
Ashley.
Ashley. Oh my gosh, Melissa
Ugh.
McIntyre. If you ever, please don't ever
It's
listen to
not
this
you, babe.
podcast because we do.
It's not you.
It's not you. It's more when I'm saying your line as I'm talking directly as Melissa McIntyre listens to this podcast. But when I'm talking about the line delivery, it is more that it's hilarious the way it's written to be said. Because I
Yeah.
don't like there's obviously a vibe that they were going with and like, you know, they want Ashley to be extremely over the top this episode. That's why they play up the eyeliner and have her touching it up in the beginning, like, and she's fully like sunken eye, like
Right.
corpse looking. You know she had to do that at fucking school because I'm pretty sure Kate would flag that on the play. But no,
Kate
she's
to be
no,
rolling
that's wrong.
with it.
She does. I want somebody to flag it on the play. Just like, are you all right?
Right.
Are you aware that you look undead?
Like, I mean, Toby's always calling her a vampire. Like,
it is in the air. It's in the air. Yeah, you can tell by Jimmy's face they're just not good together. He does let her have played that song for Craig, and he would have just been giving her brooding boy eyes the whole time. He would have been,
and she would have finished, and he would have been like, "You
impressed.
Really see me,
right? Like, I just
you
feel
know
like
me,
we just
the
connect.
real me." You know me. The real me.
The real me.
I know you. God, I hate it.
You. You pray, but you don't see it.
And then we've got the B plot.
Oh, the B plot's fun.
The B plot is fun.
But
it is another one of those
bullshit.
like it's another one of those like preteen sitcom plots.
Yeah.
Where Toby and JT have sex ed without Dr. Sally. She's in China. Which JT like takes fucking personally.
I actually feel a little bit bad for this young man because the grade 8s got to have her twice, or the grade 9s got to have her twice, and he didn't get her one time. He feels like, damn it.
Right? And Dr. Sally is amazing.
You couldn't have scheduled us
great.
Why didn't they schedule them at the same time? That is an inefficient use of resources, Degrassi. You could have had one period where Dr. Sally's with the 9th graders, one period where they're with the 8th graders, because the 8th graders got Dr. Sally last year, so you can't argue that they're too young.
We needed different story. They didn't fit in the same episode.
They didn't fit in the same episode, so they said, fuck you, JT, just fuck your dream that's been brewing for a season and some change now. Like, he has been dying for Dr. Sally, and the fact that he doesn't, damn, I don't like that.
I know. And then she never comes back.
It sucks. They kind of, I feel a little bad for him.
Since she's been brought up, once again, shout out to Sue Johansson.
We love you.
Spent a lifetime doing important work.
Such important work. Like, seriously, these chuckleheads. JT could have used some wisdom from Dr. Sally. I don't know if he would have necessarily, like, applied it, but I think he would have been very affected by it.
Yeah,
I think so. I have to call out that because once Dr. Sally is not the one who's teaching the sex class, it's Armstrong. I have to say that it reminded me of Mean Girls, and I'm like, okay, did Tina Fey watch Degrassi?
No, he's not like don't have sex or you'll get pregnant or you'll die. He's like abstaining is the only way to make sure that you don't get pregnant or catch an STD. But, and it did. It gave me.
If you don't, then you should. If you don't want to abstain, you should always have a condom on you. And there, of course, there's a condom on his back.
Yeah,
a drying up condom on his back. But yeah, definitely it gave me. This school does not have enough funds. And
No,
we
I
do.
mean he's the health teacher.
He
It
is
makes
not. I
sense.
know, but it's such an. I feel like even the health teacher. I don't know. He is the health teacher, right? I guess that is kind of his job that he steps back. He is with Dr. Sally in the other scenes. That's true. I don't know why it was giving low budget. I think it's just, it's not low budget. It's
Because we're
completely
used to
within
Sue
budget.
Johansson.
It feels low budget compared to Sujo. It feels low budget, but I have to say that what, okay, so it is heavily implied that JT wants condoms because of Paige,
Right.
of potentially getting in with Paige. And so he corrals fucking poor ass Toby to the drugstore where they fuck around with two men, like they shouldn't, like the sizes, the
Right.
size
Right.
discourse, and the fact that I just want to thank Googly that JT does like never got to be in a focus group for condom flavors, because like the
Because
fact
he
that he would
suggests
introduce,
bacon.
right, introducing bacon as like a plausible, like I don't know, something's wrong with that kid. But
And Toby picks some glow in the dark condoms.
they thoroughly creep out this this sales girl. The fact that her face, okay, can I talk about the fact that her face through the whole thing does not change, and she
Yeah.
just slightly like stares harder in disgust with each increasing like infraction. um it's a mess. And they're on the computer researching something later because they're in the media immersion lab.
Yeah, no, no, no. Well, they're looking at Spinner's weird webpage devoted to him
Okay.
punching Toby in the face. It has a
Yeah.
poll that's like, who should I punch in the face? Toby Isaacs. Toby
Hmm.
Isaacs again. All caps, Toby Isaacs.
And I mean, literally, I think JT should be at the top of the list, but personally, because just for the like the mean, like the not the mean, the ill-advised way that he basically comes at Spinner for trying to practice his Shakespeare lines in the
Yep.
hallway, and he's like, "That's right," trying to like
Shots fired.
sound it out, right? It's just like, do you have like a bodily injury wish? Like, what the fuck is
Right.
wrong with you, man? And that's how he is found out and shaken down with the
But I
condom on his
like, you know
person.
what? Spinner's reasonable in this episode in the end because like he's about to punch Toby and Toby's like, I don't want to have sex with your sister. I bought the condoms because I like your sister and I don't
Hmm.
want to have sex with her, but if we do, I want to take care of her.
Yeah, very mature. That Spinner's
And
like,
then when he's
that's
like, when JT's like, I'll never buy condoms again, he's like, it's not about condoms. It's
yeah,
about Kendra. Like, there's pressure to have sex all over the place. Like,
absolutely.
but the real star is Kendra Mason,
Real
who,
star
when
stands
Toby
up for herself.
is running from Spinner, he finds Kendra and she slams him up against the locker.
Hmm.
How old am I? And what
12,
grade am I in? You thought
7.
I'd have sex with you, pervert?
And he looks so fucking gobsmacked. It's hilarious. Like, she does not, and
So
I love that they
gobsmacked.
reinforce that she does not need you peasant boy or brother to be her hero. Like, she's gonna save her
Right.
fucking self. Oh, I have to point out, to that's why I wanted to bring up the what they were looking at on in the media immersion lab, because Snake is the screensaver in the media
Yes.
immersion.
It's so good. It was so
And
good.
it's like his head pops open, the top of his head, but he's also like peeking around the corner of the school, a picture of the school. It's adorable. It's
It's
fucking funny.
adorable.
And the ADR in the condom drop scene is like, once again fucking wacky. Whoever does ADR for this show is fucking on another plane with the shit they're throwing there. um I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I feel like this. It was a funny episode. Not funny
It
episode. I mean,
was.
overall, like I think it was just way over the top. The ninth grade plot was more funny than it was supposed to be to me.
And then, yeah. And then Spinner, like, covering JT in condoms is a good time.
Yeah, and like we love a sex positive, message. It's not about buying condoms, not about having sex. Like, it's about pressuring a 12-year-old girl into the throes of teenage sex. And that's something that we should never be pressuring a fucking barely uh teenaged person into. So, we love sex positivity. Yeah, no, I was just saying I appreciate that Spinner's not trying to be, patriarchal about the whole thing. He's just like, there's just pressure enough to have sex, and she's too young to be, and she's not worried about it either. It's like that's it, and she's too
Right, she's
young to be
12. She
worried
doesn't want to
about
have
it.
sex.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I love it. That was my last point.
So, should we move on then?
Yeah, let's go on to the fashion corner.
All right. I did not have a lot of fashion this episode.
Me either.
I thought Paige's look was really cute with the blue turtleneck and it's her hair more so. Her hair's up in like kind of twisties,
Mhm.
with the signature two strands.
Yeah. Um I actually, so for fashion question mark, it's not even a don't. I'm wondering what the hell Ellie's wearing. Because her shirt looks like it could be a dress because of how long it is. It's like her belt is off the it's off the waist. She's got a little cockeyed, and then she's got this like one of these gauzy shirts on underneath that she always wears, and it's so long that it's at her hip and most likely below because her skirt is it's very odd.
Mhm.
Her skirt is too low on her body to be for her shirt to be like that long. um and I'm just a little confused about it.
Yeah.
But I wish that like I could see the dress that Ash is wearing at the end of the episode, but like it's just too it's basically just her shoulders, but it looks kind of purplish. It looks velvet,
Hmm.
purplish and velvet, and I love those two things. So I probably might not dislike what she was wearing if I could see what she was wearing.
Yeah. I thought Emma and Manny looked cute. They're like walking down the hallway, and Manny's wearing like a pink turtleneck and either khakis or like tan corduroys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Emma's wearing like a brown t-shirt that I think has like a gorilla on it. You can't really tell because she's got her messenger bag in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a tan, kind of like
Track
velour
velour
track
tracksuit. Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah. I think that sweater is a repeat for Manny. I recognize
Yeah,
it. I think it's a repeat sweater in that same
it's cute though.
frame. It is cute. And then I have a random background character. When Ashley does her transformation and she's walking in the hallway, there's a girl with like a page boy cap on,
Hmm.
newsboy cap,
I knew
whatever.
you were gonna grab that.
Yeah, I like her little cropped sweater. It's a V-neck. And it's got multiple stripes. Like it's got a big
Hmm.
blue stripe at the bottom, then she's got some yellow, red stripes in there, and she's of course got to top it off with the hoop earrings and gel textured hair. And I think it's a look, even though
Yeah.
she's a little bit of a bitch, obviously.
Is that your last fashion?
It is, yes.
Cool. So that transitions actually well into I took a picture of that girl too, but not for that girl.
Okay.
So there's three girls. They're walking behind Ashley. They're making fun of her, or
Mm-hmm.
it's presumed that they're like making fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one in the middle, the blonde, is Heather Sinclair.
I can buy that. Fair.
And with that note, should we go to the side of the town where the shots are fired?
Yes, absolutely. Pew
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 pew pew
pew pew
pew
pew.
pew.
Shots fired.
Um, so of course, my first shots fired is at the top of the episode where Jimmy is just looking fucking flabbergasted, side busted, and victimized at being sung this at Ashley singing this song to him, and it's just hilarious. His series of faces will be posted on the socials.
Oh my God, they're so bad. And she's just like blissfully unaware.
So blissful. It must be nice there, in that delusion. But my next one is a in school the next day or later that day. I don't know. Ashley's saying I look awful in response to looking at the yearbook, and a passing dude by the name of Sully, which Caroline gratefully pointed out, we see fucking bitch ass Sully again, just so y'all know. Um, he says, "Got that right, freak show." Jimmy responds, "Try looking in the mirror." Sully responds, "Careful, Jimmy. Although it is nice of you to date the creepy chicks, leave the hot ones for us." Burn.
Shots fired. Um, one of mine was when, and it's also like a foreshadowing,
Mm-hmm.
when JT and Toby are buying the condoms, and Toby's like, "You do not need extra large." And then
It is such good foreshadowing, and I love that we have it on videotape.
when
On
Ashley
film.
shows up with her new old look, and Spinner says, "You actually look alive." And then she
um,
goes to meet Craig, and she's like, "Sorry, I'm late." And he goes, "And you are?"
Craig, speaking his mind. Um, Jimmy, after Sully, comes in her life, says, "If jerks like him knew how beautiful you are on the inside, they'd keep their mouth shut."
Ouch.
The emphasis on inside is really not all that exaggerated.
It's not, but it's but in
it's
Ashley's head it is.
yeah. Um, so Ellie also, my last one is Ellie saying, responding that Ashley's change is tamed. Now, I did not take down the exact lead in like I normally do, but her delivery of the words tamed is very scathing, because I think that she's just looking at, like, she wants her friend to be self-expressive, and it's very much like, I love you, why do you suck?
Yeah.
But yeah. Fuck
Bringing
you.
it back to relax, are there any shining stars?
um
Ashley,
Yeah, Ashley for pointing out the
looking out for
bullshit afoot.
Terry.
Yeah, because I mean, without Ashley, Terry would have just been on the hook for so much fucking bullshit.
Kendra,
Um,
too. Kendra kills it.
yeah. Oh, Kendra. I think Kendra, because of the way that she leads the girls to, because I don't know if anybody else would have left if Kendra didn't leave.
Right.
She, yeah, she's definitely the shining star, because everybody else was pretty bummy.
Yeah, no, my super bummers are like Liberty, Paige, Hazel,
Terry.
honestly, even Terry,
Terry, yeah, Terry bummed me out.
Spinner, Jimmy.
Whole main cast except for fucking Kendra
Yeah.
and Ashley. Yep.
What
Y-
about Dressed in Black?
So can I include Sully because he does come back?
I mean,
Uh,
sure.
if not, then I just want to give him like a
Honorable
douche
mention.
honor, a douche hall of fame or something, like, because he just sucks. Like, I don't know, I have like a weird thing for like people walking by and throwing really scathing insults.
I think like yeah, he's a recurring character, but he's a very
He's a plot
one-dimensional.
device. He's
He's a
still a
plot
plot device.
device,
All right,
but
all
he
right. Fuck you,
sucks.
Sully. I'm just gonna say fuck you, Sully, because you fucking suck.
You
Um,
suck.
and I'm gonna give the Shining. I don't. Jesus, how?
I
Who is the Shining Star?
Kendra.
Yeah, right. Kendra for standing up for herself, and I mean, I'll throw it to Spinner for
I'd say he gets
um
like an honorable
he get
mention for
yeah,
being
because
sex
using
positive.
using violence to be sex positive and bullying tactics to be sex positive.
Right.
um yeah. And I mean, I would throw Toby in there as an honorable mention, because unfortunately he was just along for the ride.
Hmm.
He was genuinely not trying to have sex with Kendra. I think it was just completely out of the realm of his thought process, and JT brought it into his mind. And I do genuinely think that if they were to have sex, he would it would be one he would want to take care of Kendra. So I don't think
Right.
that he was saying that just to get out from under the fist. I think he
No,
was
no.
being legitimate in that he would want to take care of Kendra if they were going to have sex. So he gets an honorable mention for not being a shitbox.
Right? Go
We're with Spinner.
Toby.
Sex positivity. We love to see it. So for our super bummers and dressed in black, do we
Ashley,
Ashley? So Ashley,
Jimmy,
you were a shining star last time. You're a super bummer this
JT.
time. Most of the main cast.
Yeah. Everybody kind of sucks.
I mean, even Emma kind of sucks, and Manny kind of sucked for their one interaction in this episode with the camera, and saying, "Oh, those condoms must be JT's or Toby's. That's so gross," and basically puts Toby in the line of fucking fire.
Right.
Have him fighting for his life for a couple minutes after that, but yeah, they both kind of suck. Yeah,
I don't think that they're
Armstrong
like,
for doing the Lord's
yeah,
work.
Armstrong's a shining star.
Because goodness knows it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Teaching the fucking JT sex ed, no thank you.
We all know it proves to be ineffective. So, yeah, who do you have any other
No.
super bummers, shining stars? Good. All right.
No, I think we covered it all. I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
pretty
so too.
straightforward.
Yeah, everybody sucks and only a couple people are good.
There's not a lot of like, a lot of the times it's like you can be like, okay, well, this person sucks, but I see their motivation and like whatever, and I empathize with the fact that they're a teenager, but like everybody just kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Everybody just kind of sucks indeed.
Which is fine.
It is what it is. At least it's not like everybody sucks in an episode that matters. So,
So I think, now we ask the question. I think it's a really easy question this week. Relax. Does it go there?
Does it go there?
Does it go there?
No. Just sorry. I mean, but that's kind of my answer for both of them. But I guess we can break it down,
especially for relax, but definitely for
totally
both of
not
them.
For relax, right?
Neither of them really go there.
No.
Other than I would say, dressed in black, the most go there is Craig.
Yeah, we've got some Craig trauma popping back up. We know it's coming,
but no.
But no, I think it's more like a teaser. It's like, oh, you forgot about Craig? Craig's still over here suffering, boo. We're gonna see him soon. We're gonna see him soon. We're gonna wrap up his suffering. So yeah, no, it doesn't. Neither of these episodes go there, but yeah,
it's fine. They don't all have to.
It's fine. So
they decided, like, let's have a lazy day in. It's kind of rainy out. We're gonna just chill at the house, binge watch Hilary Duff movies. It's fine. Some days are like that.
Some days are awesome like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, do this outro. Thanks for listening to Your Mom's Podcast. Next week, Emma starts a riot and fight for your right, and Paige is forced to face her rapist, and how soon is now.
This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was made possible in part by Jeremiah Motors, Trojan, and support from listeners like you. If you'd like to further support our show, you can follow our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at YMPadcast and TikTok at Your Mom's Padcast. You can also visit our website at www.padcast.com. Your Mom's Padcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you feel so inclined, subscriptions and reviews are another great way to support the show. And if you'd like to support us financially, you can subscribe to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/yourmomspadcast. And remember, that's Padcast. PAHDCAST. Thank you.
And we'd like to say a huge thank you to the following people for supporting the show on Patreon: Octavia Faith, June Bard, Alika F., Margot Mancini, and A-Butts.